Maisa mo. Kita ra guys. So, okay, let's start. Paminaw ang gatog. So, before we start, I am tackling the Chapter 6, Development of Effective Assessment Tools. So, as you can see, wala na akong yung siya gibutang dire kay basawan lang siya na ako. Okay, masabtan na naman siya. So, overview, the relevance of effective targets, attitude traits, and how their concepts are related to students' learning were discussed in the preceding chapters. So, assessment of the effective domains is one of the requirements of the 21st teaching learning proposition. So, I'm going to tackle about the methods of assessing effective targets. So, can you please read Mr. Solomon Ruby? Sabay. Kanina? Sige. Kanina naman yan. First of all, methods of effective traits and these methods are teacher observation, student self-report, and peer reviews. Macmillan, 2007. So, the three methods of assessing effective traits and disposition is since the effective traits are not directly observable man jud, di ba? So, they must be deduced from the behavior of what student says about himself and others. So, dapat ang behavior daw kay dili lang sa students pero makita po sa uban. There are a variety of psychological measures that assess effective traits, but due to sophistication of such instruments, classroom teachers rarely use to them. Instead, own observation and student self-reports are mostly used. So, ang mostly used yun sa teachers kay student self-reports mo dyan na siya yung pinaka-the best na gamitan sa teacher. So, there are consideration in assessing effect. These are, first is the emotion and feelings change quickly most, especially for young children and during early adolescence. So, which means to obtain a valid indication of an individual student's emotion or feelings. So, dapat yun mag-focus ang teacher sa emotion or feelings o sa students para ikaw mga adolescents na siya, sabta niya kung unsay ipasabot atong teacher ngayon i-kambagan nato sa una. So next, second is use varied approaches in measuring the same effective traits as possible. So it is better not to rely on a single method because limitation inherent in that method. So dapat dili lang jud ka mag-focus sa usa ka strategy. Dapat ikaw teacher dapat na kay baon jud na strategy para ang imong kanang klase engaging and also napoy ma-learn ng mga students. So number 3, decide what type of data or results are needed. Is it individual or group data? So in this effect, consideration of what the purpose of assessment is will influence the method that must be used. So dapat imong method jud kay gamit jud siya nimo. Example for reporting or giving feedback to parents or interested individuals about the learner. So dapat individual student information is yun na siya, necessary yun na siya dapat. So next is the teacher's observation. So can you please read Mr. Yao?
So teacher's observation is one of the essential tools for formative assessment. However, in this chapter, the emphasis on how to use this method so that teachers can make more systematic observations to record student behavior that indicates the presence of targeted affective traits.
So thank you, Ms. Tario. So when you use in using observation, the first thing to do is to determine in advance how the specific behavior leads to the target. So dapat if mag-use kag observation jud kay dapat uh, 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 pasok yun siya sa shock sa imong mga students. It starts with a vivid definition of trait, then followed with a list of students' behavior and actions that correspond to positive or negative dimensions of the trait. So, yeah, behavior and actions are identified initially by listing what the students with positive and negative behaviors do and say. So, ikaw, teacher, makita mo yun mo kung sa iyong students, kita nimo sa lihok o istorya, di ba? Yeah. Next is the unstructured observation. So when you say unstructured observation is a anecdotal or may also be used for the purpose of making summative judgment. This is normally open-ended, no checklist, and everything observed is just simply recorded. Using unstructured observation, it is necessary to have at least some guidelines and examples of behaviors that indicate affective trait. Thus, it is a must to determine in advance what to look for. However, it should not be limited to what was predetermined. Also needs to be open to include other actions that may reflect on the trait. So, and which means teachers record everything they have observed, and also not limited by what is contained in the checklist or rating scale. So dapat dili siya mag-focus dapat sa rating o checklist. So gabutang man there is normally open-ended, no checklist or rating skills, di ba? So there is no problem if specific behaviors are not displayed and behaviors that were not previously listed can be added. The on a regular basis, it is hard to find most, especially the teacher is preoccupied with learning activities. So it's hard to find time, most especially when teachers preoccupied with learning activities. So dapat yun ang teacher kay dili siya bombarded if maggamit siya ning observation kay inamong gibutan dili more. So next is structured observation. So when I unstructured, nasa structured. So when we say structured observation, it is different from unstructured observation in terms of preservation needed as well as in the way of observation is recorded. In structured observation, more time is needed since checklists or rating forms are to be made since it will be used to record observation. The form is generated from a checklist of positive and negative behaviors to make it easy and convenient in recording. So, ang structured observation kay sabot-abot yun siya, dapat yun siya mag-need of more time, na checklist, na rating skills, and also used to be record observation. So, here are the below are the things that should be considered if the teacher's observation method will be used to assess effect. So first is determine behaviors to observe in advance. Record students' importance data such as time, data, and place. If unstructured, record brief description of relevant behavior. So, kita. Keep interpretations separate from descriptions. Record both positive and negative behaviors. Have as much as observation of each student as necessary. Avoid personal bias. Record immediately the observation. And lastly, apply a simple and efficient procedure. So, muna siya ang belongs sa structured observation. So, here is the student interview. So can you please read Mr. Francis Filico? Ba si Friends? Sige, si Alfredo na lang.
Ano sa manari? Okay, students interview. There are different types of personal communication that teacher can use with their students, like individual and group interviews, discussion, and casual conversation to assess effect. It is similar to observation, but in here, there is an opportunity that teachers may have direct involvement with the students where teacher can probe and respond for better understanding.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Alfredo. So it is important that teachers can prove that and respond for better understanding. Yun siya. Okay. Teacher must be establish true feelings to the students and beliefs mo dyan. Okay. If ikaw teacher, di ba, mapapangutan na mo dyan ka sa imong students kung if first day of class, mga anong kaila-ila mo dyan, di ba? Para sa makaila ang teachers nimo. And also an advantage of interview is that the teachers can clarify questions and prove with an appropriate for clarification of responses and note nonverbal behavior. So on the other hand, ang students have an opportunity to qualify or elaborate on previous responses. So this procedure helps avoid vagueness, a problem normally experienced with measuring affect. So next is surveys and questionnaires. So the second type under self-report method is questionnaires and surveys. The two types of format using questionnaires and surveys are constructed response format and selected response format. So when you say constructed response format, it is a straight forward approach asking students about their effect by responding to a simple statement or question. Another way to implement constructed response format is by means of essay. So kaning constructed response format is essay items man siya provide more in-depth and extensive responses that of a simple short sentences. So ang kaning constructed response format is simple statement or question na siya nga ipabuhat sa usa ka teacher in the use of essay writing. And reasons for their attitude also, values and beliefs are expressed better using essay. So dira makita nimo ang students if naba siya ani pabuhatan mo siyang essay, no? So lastly, there are three ways of enhancing the selected response format in assessing effective learning outcomes. These are rating skills, semantic differential skills. These three ways will be discussed in detail in the chapter succeeding for this chapter. So when we say rating skills, semantic, and checklist is this response is familiar naman gyud ani no since gitaklo namin nato sa uban natong subject, di ba? So importante jud ni siya ang checklist kay para may buwan nimo ang behavior sa students o unsa iyang academic performance. So that will be all for my part, guys. Thank you.